All right, welcome back. Now the show is interactive. Don't forget, use the hashtag Breakfast Daily for us to hear what you're thinking. If you're watching on social media, if you happen to be watching us on regular TV, the WhatsApp line is on your screen. It's 055-058-5832. Now we're going to go over to the Oti region. Something very interesting is happening. This country has been blessed with an abundance of resources from everywhere. I mean, if you look at the coast, we have salt, we have fish. If you look inland, we have forest, we have rubber trees, we have, teak, trees. We have. It's like God has just sort of dumped His final bag of resources on this land. Now we've also discovered that somewhere in the Oti region, along the Akpafu range, we have several sites of iron ore, and there's some exploration that the government is looking to doing to see what we can do to tap into some of this natural resource. We have a report for you by our colleague Desmond Algor. Let's take a look. We'll come back and get into some conversations.
The newly created Oti region is set to receive a significant boost in development following the initiative by the government and some potential investors to mine an abundant iron ore reserve in the Oti region. The reserves in Akpafu and Akrokrowa hold about 500 million tons of iron ore. When developed, it will boost steel production in the country and also provide employment and development to residents in the Oti region. Speaking after an engagement with some chiefs and people in the Oti regional capital, Dambai, the chairman of the board of Ghana Integrated Iron and Steel Development Corporation, Farouk Aliu Mahama, says Ghana will become the biggest hub in iron ore production when operations begin at the site in Oti region. He says plans are underway with some potential investors to begin mining.
It's not a one-man show, it's a teamwork that we're synchronizing together to achieve this. So it's from up to the down. And today, the private investors who have come to use their own resources to do and spend their own money to be able to know what is there. After they get to know what is there, then they'll be the first to write refusal. All the other discussions will be discussed with the minister, and other procedures that is going to go to parliament, and other ascensions and approvals will then follow. But for now, because of the timeline we have, we need to achieve this within the shortest period of time. And that must be achieved within the next 6 months before the year ends.
According to Farouk Aliu Mahama, residents in these areas will benefit from the exploration and exploitation of the iron ore deposits.
We are working within the jurisdictions that we have these things. So obviously, wherever we move and where we are working is just centered on the iron and ore, nothing else. And this would bring employment opportunities, this will bring youth engagement, this will bring community engagement, this will bring productivity to the country. The President of the Republic will achieve the vision of industrializing Ghana, and the iron hub, Ghana will become the biggest iron hub in Africa. And trust me, with the support of the President and the hardworking Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, we should be able to achieve that.
In an interview, the Oti Regional Minister, Joshua Makubu, stated that the discovery of iron ore deposits in the region will boost the economy of the Oti region. He also noted that the discovery in the region will give a more concrete backing to the President's commitment of constructing a bridge over the Oti River.
The investors that are coming in to invest in the iron ore sector will definitely also make some investment in the road sector as well. And as more revenue is accrued to the various assembly and to the government of the day, definitely there will be expansion in our road network, academic institutions through corporate social responsibility, and increased government revenue will also be developed. As the President indicated last year when he came here, with or without the discovery of iron ore, the Oti Bridge will still be done anyway. That is, he's a president. When he speaks, he goes by it. As I speak to you now, in cabinet, the Oti Bridge has come out by several times. Feasibility is currently being done. And very soon, as the feasibility studies are done and all other financial arrangements are concluded, the bridge will be started.
Developmental works in the Oti region is set to begin in earnest in some few months following the initiative by government and some potential investors to mine an abandoned iron ore reserve in the Oti region. Residents, however, say they are happy and want to be engaged to benefit from this.
So that's a Citi News report coming in from our colleague Desmond Algor in the Oti region. Now, David, for me, this is very interesting. I mean, it just goes along with the proverb that calm proverb that we shared earlier this morning. There's clearly fire there already.
Yeah.
You know, these are iron ore mines that had already existed.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm curious to know why they were abandoned along the way.
Yeah.
But if you look at the insert, you look at the report, some of the ores are just sitting there.
Yeah.
You can literally just pick them up and, start mining them.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, viewers, if you understand why this is important. We're talking about iron, and there are different kinds of iron. The biochemist in David can run us through them. But we are said to have some of the highest grade, which means that we can get just those little stone-like things you were seeing, can get as much as 62% of the content of it being iron. That means our iron rods, things like, stainless steel, which is an iron alloy, all these things, we can use them. And these are things that we can easily export if we have enough of it for the metal works around the world. So it's a very big deal that the government wants to go in and resurrect those mines. But beyond that, David, when the new regions were created, 2018, we saw them coming out 2019, a lot of people we're not sure why. And one of the reasons I was given was that, look, some of the regions were huge. You needed to break them up so we could have a little more focus when it comes to development. So I'm happy that the Oti region has come into focus for this.
It's very important. I think I'm actually very excited that a new region like the Oti region, we've discovered something. Well, it's not really a discovery. It was there before, but we've sort of honed in on it as something that is superbly valuable to the country, because 98% of all iron ore in the world is used for the steel industry globally, right? So, of course, the other uses of iron, but mainly the steel industry. And the steel industry is very, it's huge.
Gargantuan.
Yeah.
Remember that word.
It's $1 trillion industry globally, So, really, I mean, this bodes very well for us if we will use it properly. If we will use it properly. Of course, I was just fascinated when I heard about it, because I remember the 4 types of iron ore that exist in the world. We have hematite, magnetite, siderite, and then I think there's limonite. Limonite is usually found in bogs.
Right. And hematite has the highest composition of iron, Okay, so we have Madam Janet Emefa Obro Adibo on the line. She's the DC, the District Chief Executive of the Guan District. Good morning, Madam. Oh, okay. I think we've lost her on the line.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely get her back again. But of course, we've been talking about and talking to DCEs a lot over the past 2 weeks in different communities around Ghana, different districts. And as you rightly pointed out sometime last week, the district chief executive is more or less the president's representative.
Is the president's representative,
in any given district across the country at the local governance level.
Yeah.
And so when we do get to speak to Madam Janet, to Honorable Janet, I'll be curious to know how instrumental her office was in sort of projecting, lobbying, doing some of the things that needed to bring the attention of these abandoned mines to the government, and then why and how we ended up here. And I think it's great news. It's great news. It's great news.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, especially when we're talking about this is Ghana, and the value of this particular intervention that Citi TV and Citi FM is bringing to the Ghana discourse. I think it's a very important time for us to unearth this particular thing. Because, listen, there's no way we can overemphasize the need for us to look at what we have been given and how to turn that into productive use, to better our lot as a people. It would impact so much on everything. Yesterday I was having a conversation with our friend Hannah, Abrahams, and just talking about the fact that it's very important for us to look at the issue of productivity, because too many times we think of wealth in the natural endowment, but natural endowment is not wealth.
No,
it's opportunity. It's opportunity, exactly. it's not wealth. Anyway, yes, the Honorable Madam Janet has joined us on the line, to the DCE of the Guan District. Madam, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Yeah, good morning and good morning to all your listeners.
Yes, and so we wanted to find out from you, first of all, your feeling about this resurgence of the iron ore industry within the Oti region. What your thoughts are?
Yeah, it's a laudable idea. Very laudable. Because as a newly created region, and we know we lack a lot of things. And with the coming of fresh iron ore, it's a blessing in disguise. So we are grateful to the President of the Republic, Nana Bidampa Kupati, for putting the business together to come and then start something which has been stuck for a very long time.
So, Honorable, morning, and again, welcome to Breakfast Daily. So I'd like to find out from you, do you have any idea how long these iron ore reserves have been left idle?
Oh, it's been so long. It was started, but not by the government. It was started way back. There have been deposits in the land for God knows when. But then the discovery, and then they started, in my village, for instance, there is a very big room, which is like a cave that they went into man iron those days. But then, now that technology and new knowledge of doing things have come, it will be a very good thing to go into it. And then from what we are hearing, they said they have the high quality of the iron ores around the area. And I think it will boost the development, give work to our people. We maintain the conditions, some 30% local content will be there. Our roads should be constructed, because definitely you have to pass through a good road to get to the places.
Of course.
And as a new district, like Guan, the last born of all the districts in Ghana, we have road network problems, employment problems, like you already know. The people, we are peasant farmers around the area. And this coming will give us artisans jobs. The community work dogs will get something to do. All things being equal, though, if the conditions are well abided, and then the degradation and its effects, I think it will go a long way to develop and open up the tourism as a whole.
Yeah, Madam, you know, one of the things you just alluded to, I wanted to ask you if, of course, you know, in conjunction with your regional minister, these conversations will be happening. But how sure are you that the exploration is going to impact on local development, especially in terms of road networks? This is the reason why I'm asking this question. When you go to the traditional areas of mining in Ghana, their roads are the worst in the entire country. So, I'll give you an example. Takwa has been mining for over 100 years. They have the worst roads. It's only recently that Takwa started to see some facelift. Meanwhile, they've been mining for hundreds of years, right? You go to places like Samra Boy, where in Asankragwa, where there's forestry, they've been cutting down trees and, you know, felling trees and making millions of dollars for Ghana from the wood industry. And yet their roads are terrible. So how sure are you that this exploration is actually going to impact on the local development of road networks within your district and then your region at large?
Thank you so much. We were at a meeting with them on Tuesday in Dambai with my regional minister.
Okay.
And we questions were asked. These things are things we have seen happening elsewhere. So in signing MOUs with the stakeholders,
yeah,
the people will open wide our eyes to see that the agreements are followed. Because I earlier said, all things being equal.
yeah.
When everything is taken into consideration, we have seen the promises they gave, the MOUs, we are now starting. So we will be learning from those who are pacemakers, like the gold mining that you have mentioned.
Yeah, okay.
So we will be learning from them. We will go into the archives, we will go online and look at the memorandum of understanding that were signed, how it was carried out. Because I also said there, and we asked questions about what happens after the mining. We see some places were left just like that. Some places were becoming a death trap, like you have said about the road.
Yeah.
So we will also take all those things into consideration, like opening wide our eyes and then be guided.
Okay.
Be guided, because we are not starting all alone by ourselves. Something else has been mined somewhere, like gold, and what happened there will give us a good example
to follow.
And then we will pray that such a thing wouldn't happen, because we are even new, a new region, and then the level of development, like every other new region, the government is doing its best to bring development. And if our partners who are coming to do the exploration, and when they find iron ore to do the best, they will come in mind with that.
Okay, so Honorable, we're very happy to hear that an MOU has been signed, at least so that the development is actually run and laid out the way it's supposed to be.
MOU has not been signed. We are now engaging the community.
You're now engaging the community?
Yes. So,
okay.
For instance, today there will be a community engagement at Akpafu Toji, Akpafu, and that of Sandokofi, where they have found the iron ores.
Okay.
In the one district.
Okay. Okay. So, Honorable, I have one last question. Another thing you mentioned, and we are also hoping to see, is that this creates employment for the people of your community, of your district. But I'm wondering, do the members of the community have the skill it takes to do the actual jobs, the artisanal jobs within the industry that's going to be created, so that they can earn good money, not just, go and maybe pour water somewhere and just be, the laborers, but actually earn good money and have some skills so that they can also develop in terms of the human capital that you have there?
Yeah. For now, we are calling on all those who have the know-how to come on board, because some of the people in the area have the ideas.
Okay.
Because it has never been mined in the area.
Yeah.
So there is a little idea there. But then apart from that, we will definitely need experts to come and then mentor and train some people.
Okay.
Because this will not be just a year program or a project. So as we go along, we will also get our people trained to come on board.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so
have a good day, and good day to all your listeners.
You too, Honorable.
Thank you very much.
You too.
All right, so we've been speaking with Madam Janet Emefa Obro Adibo, who is the DCE for the Guan district and in the Oti region. And, I think that, fingers crossed, we like she said, they will keep their eyes open. We too will keep our eyes open.
Yes, of course.
And watch closely what how it develops.
Yeah. And I think I like some of the things that she said. So stakeholder engagement, so that you can sign an MOU, make sure that you don't just come and mine and go, but all the pieces of development come together the way they should. And then also skills transfer.
Yeah.
And I hope that at least there's some kind of maybe MOU or informal agreement, gentleman's agreement or ladies' agreement, you know, signed or you know, agreed upon, so that we know that, okay, in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, 5 years, we should have achieved this level of skills transfer to the people in the community. So that at some point, the people who are doing the big ticket work there are actually local people.
Yeah, and what I like particularly in the graphic story on this thing, there's just a short bit here. It says the investors are made up of local and foreign entities, you know, including the African Exploration and Mining Ghana Limited, which is a local company, Gem Global Ventures, Cloudline Ghana Limited, Q3 Company Limited, Star Steels Limited, Shokram Limited, then the rest are B5 Plus Limited, Fabri Metal Limited, Planet One Group, and Magia Mining and Contract Services Limited. You know, so we have local involvement. You know,
and I hope that we are also not just going to mine, but we are going to process, so we can
well,
benefit from the value chain. So I see some
B5
of
Plus and then Fabri Metal, they actually have steel plants in Ghana.
So,
you know, so for us, I think it's a good thing to see them involved in all of that. Well, we'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Breakfast Daily will continue shortly.